السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. دفتوتا دعوتوتا خينا كم قرتن مسجد توحيد أرانتنا أكنتي Gubatee وري بالدرام شو أسجرة نما Gubate في أكاتي Gubatee دلما بيكمو أكو مقرتن Gubat شو خيسا خانخين خنو قري على تلين إبدي على تلي به قرا قباخنا اللي Gubate رايتشو أكو مقرتن إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. مسجدا قاخنو قبون هدوماتي جرا تربان ولا مدورة مسجدا لما تونو Gubatee Minneapolis خيستي أرمو خنو قرا سيمبوليتي مسجدا توحيد إسلاميك سنتر عن حواسني أورمو سيمبول قوبت أسيتي قرتي بيتاتي أسر رامو مسجدا بودا برا قرا Minneapolis في سيمبول جدود قرا يونيفرسيتي 280 رتي بيتاتي قرو خوني مو خجل كابا خا سيمبول سنة يجودا مسجد توحيد خا شيخ عبد الرحيم دويو خيستي إمامة دكتور عبد الرحيم يجود مسجد خين إن شاء الله كستما وري سيتي اوف سيمبول ميرافي ومني ميديا سلوفاني أسي يفسع الجنة كيف نقول هجراني ميجا ولين هردفنا إن شاء الله.
Those individuals that commit a hate crime in our city, in our state, we cannot tolerate that, and we have no exceptions for hate crime in the state of Minnesota. We passed that bill about the hate crime, and we are holding accountability. We are putting the statue, and anyone that created a hate crime, we want to put them what they deserve. The community and the faith, all faith are here today with us. We're all praying together, and this is not the first time this thing's happening. We are calling. If this keeps happening, we want to make sure that federal involvement, so we can thoroughly investigate. And our police trying so hard to get those individuals. I would like to call right now up there.
كأمني موتوماتي في hoggantonni masjidaati fi akkasumatti kooreenas jirani.
First, appreciation and thank you to the first responders for addressing this unfortunate and horrific scene that we're showing. This is the Towid mosque. It is a mosque that has been part of this community for some time, and unfortunately, today, this morning, this mosque has been completely burned. This is one of the most serious burning or attacks against the mosque that we know of today in the state of Minnesota. We still do not know the extent of the damage. This marks the 6th attack of a mosque in the state of Minnesota in 2023. As Representative Hussein mentioned, this Friday, the Masjida mosque was attacked. Its front doors were damaged by somebody who showed Islamophobia in their action. We are going to host a community press conference later today at 2 o'clock. We'll also pray out here. We're going to continue to do what we do. We did reach out to our Muslim leaders across the state of Minnesota this morning to let them know that this incident has happened and ask them individually to increase their security control. We're going to ask for law enforcement in the state of Minnesota today to pay special attention to our mosque. And the reason why is because last month we had an arson attempt at one of our mosques that thankfully did not result in major damage. But the next day we had a fire and the same arson attacking our mosque. We have no idea about this situation. It's still too early to determine as heard from, but we are not going to allow, we're going to learn the lesson from last time and make sure that our mosque and our law enforcement are working together to make sure that there is not a return of repeated attacks against our mosques the next day. So the next 12, 24 hours, 48 hours are critical for us to make sure we identify who this individual is, who's involved in this incident. So we're asking the public, as they always do and in the past have helped us, they know any information this morning. They moved by here, saw somebody suspicious. This is a very busy road as people try to get on the highway here. If you've seen anything or remember anything, driving by the Rondo Library and know anything, we ask you to immediately reach out to the St. Paul Police Department, and we're asking for the public's help. It is a sad day for all of us to see a house of worship burned, but we know it would have been even much more sadder if we lost a human life. So we're thankful that we can always replace a building and property, and we can never replace it. So we're thankful about that, but we are not going to be quiet about this. We're going to make sure that all houses of worship are protected in the state of Minnesota. We will not allow this trend of where we are now, 6 mosques. That's the most in the country. That's the majority of the attacks against mosques in America are happening in our state. A state that I personally believe has incredible, hospitable, and welcoming people. So with that said, again, I appreciate our law enforcement partners and the fire department. And to the community who gathered here today, I remind all of you that we will rebuild and we will continue to practice our faith without fear. Thank you.
We have a unique situation here. We have two communities of faith that share the same area. So I'd like to invite Pastor.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Richie McGee, the pastor of Tampa, Memorial United Methodist Church. Thank you all for coming. Please stand in solidarity with our neighbors. We stand in solidarity with all people of faith. And I want to say that personally, I am deeply sad and absolutely thankful for our first responders. We're deeply thankful that no one was in the building, that no one was injured. But we want to say, and I say on behalf of our congregation, this is not solidarity with our neighbors because this is not the time in our something that we will stand for, and we will be alongside our neighbors here in this community as Tampa has been for over 100 years. We are one community. We share different faiths, but we serve and love the same God. And we love each other as people of faith and as people of goodwill. We are one St. Paul and we stand together. If you know anything about this incident, please share your information so that these kinds of attacks against any community of faith can stop. As African American Christians, we understand what it means to have your place of worship terrorized. It is an attempt to attack the spirit, and we will not stand against this kind of evil in our community.
Yeah.
We are one St. Paul, and we will be one St. Paul for all citizens of St. Paul.
Yeah.
We will work together until we all feel safe in our communities of worship. Thank you so much.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. First of all, I'd like to say thank you all of you for your solidarity with us. What happened to our mosque is very sad and very harmful for our community. Since we started living here in this mosque around 12 years, we didn't see any problem. Simple. But right now there is a hate crime is increasing and Islamophobia is increasing, attacking the mosques in Minneapolis and St. Paul. This first time I think in St. Paul started, and second time, right? The second time happened in St. Paul. St. Paul city is a peace city because we are living with the peace. We don't have any problem. And I would like to say again, thank you for our mayor, police department, chief of police, firefighter, all of you, neighbors. Thank you for standing with us. this is not easy thing. We need to know until the end what happened to our mosque, and we have to know, we have to bring to the accountability the people they are doing this. For the next time, we have to stop this hate crime. Thank you very much.
Can we get your name?
My name is Dr. Abdurrahim Ahmad. I'm the Imam of this mosque.
Can you spell both of your names for us, please?
Abdul Rahim. My name is Abdul Rahim.
We'd just like to spell it correctly.
Abdurrahim. My last name is Doyo. I'm the Imam of this community. I'm talking on behalf of my community, or Muslim community in simple.
Can you tell us about the building here? I understand it was, it used to be the Model Cities building. I understand it was under renovation. Did you have plans to move in there? Have you been in there before? What's the situation?
That's our executive. He can explain.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you so much. My name is Muhammad. I'm the director of this community. It's really sad to see this happening. It was safe. We have been here for 12 years. We have good neighbors here. So it's really hard to break it. Today when I heard this news, I was at work. Somebody called me to say police department around. When we get here, so just around the police department, fire department. It's so sad. And just can say I thank you the mayor, the police department, and fire department. So what I want to say is that we have to work together, we have to stick together, we have to find this criminal to expose any suspicious evidence to the police department.
You said your name was Muhammad. Can you spell both of your names for us?
Last name Hamza.
How many members, how many people would come, how many families would come worship here? How big is your community?
Our community is big. We bought another big building and we're remodeling this one. Construction right now.
So you're remodeling this right to the folks to come in?
I saw it.
Almost done?
Almost done, yes. It's really good.
And how long had it been under construction?
That's for about 4 months. 4 or 5 months.
For you or the imam, this is a house of worship, but this does not destroy your spirit. Can you talk about that?
It makes us stronger. This kind of damage our Muslims. It makes us stronger and make us work together with our neighbor and community.
I'm looking for, trying to get this straight. So you bought this building, you were remodeling it, preparing to move into it, but it's not been there so far.
No, we lived here for the last 12 years.
Okay.
We moved to another big building in St. Paul and remodeling this one. All right, thank you.
We will have a press conference at 2 o'clock.
I do want to say one more thing. Thank you, Imam. We appreciate it. And we appreciate this showing of love and support in this community in response to this emergency. In St. Paul, we always say our approach to public safety cannot just be about what we do after a crime has happened, after something terrible has happened, or after someone has called 911. Our approach to public safety is about making every intervention that we can to reduce the number of times we have to call 911 in the first place. I've been in conversations with some of the community leaders here. We're going to work with CARE MN, the Council on American Islamic Relations, to make sure that every mosque in our city has funding for security cameras as quickly as possible. If you come anywhere near a mosque in St. Paul, be prepared to say cheese, because you will be on camera and we will be able to see you. We're asking community members to contribute to this fund so that we can make this possible as soon as possible. Go to www.caremn.com. Go to www.caremn.com. Please make a contribution. $100, $250, $10, $25, whatever you can, to help us make sure that we fulfill this promise in demonstrating to members of our Islamic community that we all stand here together. We all stand in solidarity to make sure that every member of our community can worship in peace. We're starting that right now. Please go on that website as soon as possible, make a contribution of whatever you can, and mark it security. And so that way, CARE knows to be able to apply it towards making sure that we're making security cameras available for every mosque in our city as soon as possible. Come near a mosque and say cheers.
So you're saying the presser here is here at 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock. We'll have prayers at 1:30. So those who want to pray here, and then we will have the press conference at 2.
Can you just say the name of the Islamic Center for us?
Towid.
Towid.
Tawhid.
Can you give us a little just inkling, like help people understand? If an investigator walks in, how do you know it's arson? How do you know it's intentionally set?
Unfortunately, due to the sensitive nature of the investigation, it's being active and ongoing investigation just so recent, we won't be giving out any details about that. But what I can say is that our investigators quickly identified that it was suspected to be incendiary, and then as their investigation developed, they ruled it as incendiary. Again, we looked in the State Fire Marshal's office as well as the ATM.
Was there signs of forced entry?
Again, it's an active and ongoing investigation.
For the police chief, have there been known threats against this mosque or any others?
I'm not aware of any known threats to this mosque. We did respond to a call here last week related to criminal damage.
Like vandalism here?
Yes. It was related to persons that were occupying the space, likely potentially sheltered persons that were seeking shelter. We learned that not because our police officers found out about it first. We benefited from relationships within the community. Camp 4 staff members reported to the police department these incidents. So that's really what is going to be essential in this case, is community partnership. I encourage anyone who has knowledge of or knows of what happened here today to please call the police department at 651-291-1111 because we crave that information. It'll become instrumental in our investigation.
And we see this is the second. There was an attack. There was a vandalism attack on another mosque last week. Colleagues said that this was the 6th attack against the mosque in Minnesota. So what do you attribute this? Is there a specific current event? Is there something going on? Are you seeing more online chatter, more threats? Why now? What's going on now?
That's a great question. Each of these circumstances are joined because of the faith community that's targeted, but to join them for our investigations can be difficult. Our criminal investigation unit and talented investigators who monitor online activity are looking into those very questions. I don't have a link right now that I can share with you. We're not going to leave any stone unturned. What drives a person to do this is an open question. It's our job to identify the person doing it and holding them accountable for their action on that day.
And will there be more patrols? Will there be more presence at the different Muslim sites, schools, different places in the city?
Absolutely. As a police department, we benefit from a robust relationship with faith communities across the city, whether it is Christian, Jewish, Muslim, or any community that needs our assistance. We regularly identify those addresses, and we direct our officers to patrol them outside of their emergency calls for service or when they're conducting investigations. And it will be no different in this case. That communication oftentimes comes from my office in operations or at the request of Chief Henry to the patrol districts, and then the officers know where these locations are, and they'll spend time there in between the emergencies that they respond to investigations under.
You talked a little bit about other incidents here. We know about the attack with the rock on the door. Can you describe the others? Have there been fires? Are they vandalism? What does it look like?
No fires here. Essentially trespassing crimes or people that may be trying to seek shelter from the elements. That's another concern for the police department citywide, is our shelter populations. And from time to time, people will cause damage or break into a location to seek shelter. So that's not unique to this space. It's a concern that we're addressing citywide.
Could you talk about other mosques in the city having some incidents there? We knew about that other one. Are there any others that involve?
Not that I'm aware of right now.
Okay.
Can you speak to the extent of the damage?
To this location?
To this location.
I would like to ask Chief Poso to comment on that.
Of course.
They handle everything inside the crime scene tape. We'll handle the investigation outside.
Absolutely.
So anytime there is a fire, there's the opportunity for extensive damage. Building was being remodeled, so it was pretty open, allowed for a lot of travel of fire and smoke, so extensive damage coming throughout the building. The immediate areas where there were fire present, we had obviously fire damage and charring, as well as heat damage a little further away from that, but then smoke damage.
Is the structure of the building, I mean, it looks intact, or you can't tell
The
yet?
structure isn't compromised at this point, but all remodeling efforts are somewhat in vain. This is going to significantly set back their opportunity to move back into the building. We are coordinating with the Department of Safety and Inspections. They've already been out. With the property management folks to just let them know what they need to do to get back to the impact.
Is there a dollar estimate on the damage? Okay.